New here at 5, the ACLU has filed a lawsuit against the Kansas Highway Patrol, saying that they're targeting out-of-state drivers, especially those coming from Colorado.
Yeah, the lawsuit challenges something called the Kansas two-step. The question tonight, does it infringe on your constitutional rights?
Our Abigail James is live along I-70 now. And Abigail, you spoke to the ACLU and also drivers.
Yeah, well, according to this lawsuit, Kansas Highway Patrol has designated I-70 as a drug trafficking corridor. This also states that Kansas Highway Patrol officers have been taught to stop motorists coming in from Colorado because of the state's legalized marijuana. And it also states that 2/3 of the motorists were either drivers of color or they had passengers of color in the vehicle. According to the lawsuit, 93% of the Kansas Highway Patrol's traffic stops in 2017 involved cars with out-of-state plates.
I haven't been stopped. I haven't been stopped. We've been up and down the highway today.
Long, yeah, for real.
Yeah.
We spoke with motorists Carl and Mamie Brown after noticing their car had Colorado plates. Both say they're familiar with the lawsuit, but don't necessarily agree with it.
I don't think they're targeting people from Colorado. I don't think they're just stopping black people because they're black. I just think the police is probably trying to stop the drugs that's coming in and out of Colorado. That's what they're doing.
Lauren Bonds with ACLU says the lawsuit was filed on behalf of several plaintiffs who filed complaints.
Even though they had very different approaches with their troopers, they had the exact same thing happen to them, which was a request for consent to search the car, and when that was denied, the canine search happening.
She's describing the so-called Kansas two-step. Essentially, a trooper stops a vehicle with out-of-state plates under the pretense of a traffic violation, issues a ticket, turns around and takes a couple steps away. Then they turn back and ask the driver to agree to answer additional questions.
And, if the driver says no, then they ask, oh, can I search the car? And then if the driver doesn't give consent to search, that's when they're detained for a drug dog. And refusing consent to search is not a basis for a drug dog search. It's not a reason a cop can call for a drug dog.
And though some motorists find no issue with it.
I mean, if I was doing something illegal, I've been upset about it. But, if you're not doing anything illegal, why not? They have to do their job.
Bond says this type of policing is a direct violation of the Fourth Amendment.
In particular, if you're holding someone for a canine search when there's no evidence that they are engaged in any criminal activity or engaged in any drug trafficking or drug use, solely because of their residence or their travel plans.
Now, we did reach out to Kansas Highway Patrol for comment, but they did decline a statement because of pending litigation. Abigail James, KCTV5 News.